So Doc got banned, and it happened quick. I mean, midstream, boom, off, channel gone. Some really bizarre lead ups to him getting banned. And so as of now, Doc's tweeted that he doesn't know why. Twitch hasn't told him why he's been banned, and Twitch hasn't said anything. Twitch has basically just gave the vague, like, he violated community guidelines or something like that. Both sides have been very vague as to why the Doc's been banned. And then you've had people on, third parties like Slasher, who's a well-known esports reporter or just, gaming industry streaming reporter. And then also Shannon, Sacriel's wife. Both people are saying they know why Doc's been banned. It's bad. And out of like the respect for the situation and everything, that they're not going to say what it was. They're not going to come out and say why he was banned.
It's pretty like wild because people just salivate to in this one down or bust the big news. So the fact that I know why, I'm not gonna say it. I can't imagine what.
So essentially, there's three theories, and one of them is pretty much more or less debunked at this time. We wrote a kind of an overview article, or tried to summarize all this as well on our website. So again, WKey Podcast, go there, check it out. First theory was DMCA. So first thought was DMCA. When it happened right away, everyone was like, oh, it must have been DMCA. Like, it had to have been. At the height of DMCA. Yeah. That has more or less been debunked. For a few.
The songs he plays aren't like stuff from record labels. It's all like a synth wave.
Well, I think someone makes the songs for him. Honestly, yeah. He has a Spotify DrDisrespect like playlist. So I think someone makes it for him, or whoever he's using. Artists, I think he's obviously checking with them to make sure it's okay. Yeah.
And they're giving thumbs up for him to do it.
So there was that, and then also just given the fact that he had, lost his Discord partnership. Supposedly he was cut off of Game Fuel. He lost those dolls that came out recently. He lost that. Some of those things have turned out to be false. The Game Fuel, Mountain Dew Game Fuel website still shows his logo. I don't know about now. I have not checked recently, but even like a week after he got banned, it was still showing his logo. The company that did the dolls confirmed that his contract was up. It just happened to coincide with him getting banned. His contract and his run at having those dolls was up, so that's why it's gone. The Discord partnership, they said he lost his Discord partnership. I haven't checked on that to see if that actually is true, because he still has a server. I'm part of the server, so he's still got the server. He may have lost partnership. I don't know for sure. So kind of all these different sponsors and ad partners dropping him sort of would let. And if it was DMCA, I think they would have came out already and said, hey, it was DMCA related. Like, that's why.
Yeah, the fact that
it's been 2 weeks and it hasn't. Yeah, there's been nothing.
And you haven't heard anything. It leads me to believe it's something.
And then just the stark, like the stark punishment and reaction. Everyone, supposedly a bunch of sponsors dropping him right away. Because I think his stuff's all over Rocket still, or Rocket. I think like his logo's still on the Rocket page. So like, at first, people were making it sound like he lost all his partners like right away, or all his sponsorships right away. But based on what I've seen since then, it hasn't been all of them. Because of that, because of the swift kick and just the severity of everything that followed, and nothing being talked about to this point, it's pretty obvious it's not DMCA. The second theory, after all the partners and things, he got the swift kick and all these other things happened, people immediately jumped to some sort of sexual abuse, Me Too related issue because of everything that's happening on Twitch and the streaming industry.
Still is prominent right now.
Yeah, so
everyone's getting blasted.
There's a lot of stuff coming out. There's high level people at Twitch that are being accused of things. There's tons of streamers, famous streamers. Yep. of Mixer streamers, ton of Twitch streamers that are all being accused of various, sexual assault, sexual harassment, things like that. Use of their platform and their power to kind of groom younger females, things like that. So people kind of immediately jumped to this thought. There was a comment on the YouTube video. So if you watch the last 8 minutes of his stream, the stream that he got canned on, it's weird. It's really odd, and it gets weirder towards the end. But essentially, at one point he like checks his phone, and his demeanor completely changes at that point.
Like of whatever is going on, he definitely gets informed. Then you can see his mood just does a big 180. He just goes like super depressed.
He gets quiet. He's talking. He rambles on about some weird conspiracy book or something like that. And he's just not himself. So the comment, and obviously again, this is all speculation. So this comment basically goes that like, hey, when he got the text message, it was Twitch letting him know he's being banned for something sexual assault related. The situation was bad enough that it was incurring legal repercussions, and so that's the text message. That's when his mood changed. And then at one point, Mrs. Assassin, his wife, comes in. I don't think you can see her on screen. I can't remember exactly. But he's talking to her. The YouTube comment claims that that's when she tells him, the cops are outside of the house. You shut it down. You got to shut it down. Like, let's go. And he obviously doesn't shut it down. And then basically at the very, very end of the stream, he's kind of silent, and then you sort of hear a bang, like a noise. He's kind of looking around, like he's looking at people entering his streaming space, and he just kind of goes, "Fuck!" And then that's when the stream ends, and the YouTube comment claims that that's when the cops actually kind of enter the streaming space to arrest him. So the theory is that he got arrested for something sexually related. There's that, and then there's a little bit of a different play on it that essentially, so there's that theory that it's a legally related sexual assault issue, a case that they built, that they proved, and he has been arrested for something sexually related.
That kind of like I don't know if that. I personally don't think that's what happened, but at the same time, looking at the facts, it kind of aligns with what's going on, because people are like, oh, I know what's happening.
Well, yeah,
and I don't want to say anything because
of the situation, the sensitivity of the situation, and stuff like that. Yeah,
and it also kind of plays in the fact that the reason we haven't heard anything about it because people aren't allowed to say anything.
Yeah,
the law, the government's like, yeah, you can't say anything until this is taken care of. So what's going on with it play towards that scenario.
Yeah, the problem I have with that is, he is famous, sure, whatever, or fame, he has a level of fame. Is he the most famous person out there? No, but he is a famous person. It doesn't matter if you're famous or not. If you get arrested, that is public record. Like, the arrest warrant is public. You can find the record. They can't hide it. They're not allowed to hide it. So the fact that it happened 2 weeks ago, if they had hard evidence to move on him for an actual sexual assault or something related to that, and he was being arrested for that reason, there would be an arrest file somewhere already for Guy's the actual man behind the Doc persona. There would be an arrest warrant out there already. And most likely, given his level of fame or his level of notoriety on the platform, news outlets probably would have picked it up too.
When famous gets arrested, it's like instantly released and talked about. So
yeah. So those are.
So I don't think that's what's going on.
Those are my two. Well, that and like, why would his wife support him? If it's like, if he got arrested for like sexually assaulting somebody, why would his wife be there to be like, hey, the cops are here, you got to go? Why wouldn't she just stomp in and rip the monitor down and everything like that? Like
her Instagram too, like when it all happened, she's like, oh, thank you, Champions Club. Like,
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So she's all supportive.
So there's the wife aspect that doesn't jive with the story. There's the fact that there's no arrest record or anything, or any public records of Guy being arrested. And there's the fact that the news outlets haven't picked anything up about him being arrested, which to me poke a lot of serious holes in that theory. The other, I would say, theory, that's theory 2A. Theory 2B is that the woman he cheated on his wife with, 2 years ago? Is it 2 years ago or a year ago, 2 years ago? So the woman he cheated with his wife on 2 years ago, the reason that he took the time off, the reason it went from the Slick Daddy Club to the Champions Club, and he kind of rebranded.
So he didn't get a ban from Twitch for that, right?
No, he took time. That was personal.
Thing, right?
Yeah, that was to basically save his marriage. Yeah. So the theory 2B is the woman he cheated on with his wife is another very prominent female Twitch streamer. Twitch was paying her nicely to keep quiet. Doc just got a recent re-sign on his streaming contract. Presumably it was for a lot more money than it was before because of the fact that there was the threat of competition from Mixer. I bet Twitch is kicking themselves in the ass for that now. And because he got a ton more money, the female streamer also wanted more money, and they didn't want to give it to her. And so she's going to go public or basically say that, like, Twitch, bring information to light that Twitch has essentially been protecting him. He was the one doing the illegal act of, cheating on his wife, but yet they're protecting him and they're giving him more money when she wanted more money as for a cover up, she wasn't getting it. So Twitch preemptively banned him. So if she does come out, it sort of looks like they disciplined him. But
I guess my whole problem that's what
doesn't make sense in
what's she gonna bring forward?
Yeah,
we all know what happened.
Unless there was something potentially legally wrong with that scenario. I guess that's where 2A and 2B kind of collide. Is that there was possibly something illegal happening, some illegal act happened during that episode of infidelity.
I guess, but isn't it illegal for her to not say anything because she's taking bribe money?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I would say, yeah. I mean, she's sort of taking bribe money. Yeah. Or maybe she didn't tell anyone that she was assaulted against her will at the time, but because he got more money, she's like, fuck them. She gathered the strength to actually admit to the fact that she was assaulted, and maybe that's more close to the truth. And if
I think 2B is like slightly debunked, because I'm pretty sure that post that we read that kind of explained it said that the woman who claims to be this
was Alinity.
Oh no, not that. She was gonna come forward in the next few days.
Yeah, and no one has.
Stuff. And it's been 2 weeks and no one has. Yeah. So
Alinity was trending the same day Doc was, so everyone was like, he cheated on his wife with Alinity. Yeah. So those are the two sides of the second theory. I tend not to believe that theory. I mean, given the swift action and the severity of what's happened, that does make the most sense for the most part. If you're thinking about it that way,
sensitive information they don't want to share it, so
that makes
kind of things play into that.
That makes the most sense. But theory 3 would also make a lot of sense, and I'll basically explain why I think so. But theory 3 is essentially he was planning to move. He just re-signed his new contract with Twitch, for 3 to 5 years, I'm assuming. Even though he signed it, he basically was in talks with moving to a new streaming platform with Ninja and Shroud. This is how it plays into them not making their choice yet. They were essentially recruiting other streamers to poach from Twitch to bring them to this platform. Whether it's a new platform, so there's been two big platforms that have kind of popped up that a lot of people are hot and bothered about. One called Brime and another one called Trovo. Mm-hmm. Brime did a Q&A. I don't buy much of what Brime says, and I didn't really realize why until I watched Harris Heller's video. Again, another Harris shout out. That man makes great YouTube content. You should go check him out. But he was saying, a lot of the comment, who are you? And he says, the Brime account says, I'm a man, I'm a streamer, I'm a gamer, blah, blah, blah. It's like, so basically it just sounds like people, potentially a group of kids or friends, not kids, but like early 20-something-year-olds that are just fed up with Twitch and they wanted to make their own platform, but they just don't really know. They don't have any direction. They don't know how to make it. They don't know what the market needs or what the market wants. They're just like, oh, fuck Twitch. We're going to make we're going to make a new platform. So he's like,
they don't even have a website yet.
No,
so
exactly.
Like...
So he's like, I don't foresee them actually ever launching probably. So there's that. And then Trovo is owned by Tencent, which is a Chinese company that basically owns a little bit of everything. They own PUBG. Yeah. I think they own PUBG overall. I think they bought Bluehole. Yeah. So that, and then they also own that Ring of Elysium game. That was a Tencent game as well.
I knew there was 2 games that were okay.
Trovo's owned by Tencent. It's been in China already. It's starting to roll out a bit in the United States. But again, it's going back to the video where we talked about why Mixer's growth was so low. They weren't doing anything to differentiate themselves. They didn't have a hook. They didn't have better discoverability. They didn't have like a social aspect to the platform, like a feed of clips that you just scrolled through and you're like, oh shit, that's funny. I want to go to that stream. Whereas Facebook has those things all wrapped up together. And Twitch is only where it is because it's the OG. You know what I mean? And so given the fact that, Mixer just tried to throw money at it. Tencent's got a ton of money in the world, just like Microsoft does. And based on what I've seen on the page for Trovo, they're not really innovating anything. It looks a lot like Twitch. They've even claimed that it's more mobile focused. I don't know if they meant mobile gamer or mobile viewing focused, but either way, it doesn't look like it's going to be a serious competitor to Twitch either. It's not going to do anything to Twitch. So, those were the 2 hot platforms that everyone was like, oh shit, is Doc going to Brime or is he going to Trovo? And then there was even
someone put up like a fake
Spotify.
Trovo.
Well, I saw that too. So there was a fake. I'm assuming it was a fake Doc account on Trovo. But then there was another theory posted on Reddit. Yeah, that he was going to go. That Spotify is in the works of making a streaming platform.
Trending too on Twitter, like Spotify Gaming. But if you went to the page or click any of the URLs they had, it was bringing you to like a 401 page not found.
Yeah,
so that was all just a hoax too.
So, well, potentially, maybe they're not ready to release and this shit happened and, they didn't plan on Doc getting found out just quite yet. They didn't have anything in place. So they're just kind of burning all the bridges or keeping everything under wraps. But yeah, there's the whole Spotify gaming theory is also been floated out there. The reason that I'm saying all of that, or the reason that I say that the swift reaction to all his partners, or from all his sponsors and stuff like that, could also be explained via this route as well. Because who wants to do work with someone who's disloyal, who lies, someone who agrees to a contract and then, a month or 2 later is planning to break said contract for more money. So you have to look at it that way because, a lot of people are looking at it based on the personal level and like the moral level and the legal level for the sexual assault theory. But at its heart, they're businesses. And if they feel that Doc is an untrustworthy business partner, they're going to be swift to cut ties to ensure that they incur the least amount of losses possible. So it's also explainable through that route, I feel like, as well. And I personally, love him or hate him or hate him because he cheated on his wife, which is, it's warranted, that hate. I just don't feel like I don't feel like he's a predator. I don't know him at all. I just watch him. I just don't feel like that is him. So I tend not to lean towards the whole sexual assault theory. I tend to lean more towards this theory. So
yeah, I mean, I would too. Yeah, if I had to pick any 3, it's the one about going somewhere else. But at the same time,
why isn't anyone if Shannon and Slasher know that it's that, why wouldn't they just say that? You know what I mean?
Why would you just got paid shit ton of money? Why would you leave Twitch to go to a smaller place where they probably can't offer you as big of a contract, or you'd lose a lot of viewers and then lose a lot of money? It's just, I don't know. It's just
so that's where the Spotify theory gets a little bit more, not more weight, but like becomes more plausible because Spotify's got a ton of money.
They can swing with
They just signed, this is a different world, but they just signed Joe Rogan to an exclusivity deal for his podcast. It's exclusively going to be on Spotify in the new year, I think, or something like that. So, they've got the money. They're realizing the need to make certain entertainers platform specific And they're also, probably got a good pulse on the fact that the streaming world is a very lucrative space that could be very beneficial to them, and they might also realize that no one's really doing it to the best capabilities yet, because Facebook, I think, is content just being Facebook with a bit of gaming there. They don't ever want to be like a gaming website. That's why they haven't overtaken Twitch, because based on what they have socially and the integrations they have with like sharing your clips to your wall and your direct connection to your friends and family when you stream, and all the social aspects of Facebook, if they wanted to become known as a gaming site, they could overtake Twitch pretty quickly.
I will say, so today I listened to Keemstar's theory. Did you hear his at all?
No, I tend not to listen to anything he says because I really don't like him.
But his kind of I think it could easily fit in with all these three, and it makes kind of Twitch look like the asshole in the story. So his theory is that, I mean, Doc, before Mixer shut down, would always I don't know,
shit on Mixer.
You can't take you can't take him serious sometimes. He talked about how he received a big number of offers from Mixer. Before he signed his deal with Twitch. So obviously Twitch would come back and probably gave him more money than what Mixer's offering, so he would stay with them, not get poached to Mixer. Mixer gets shut down, so now Twitch doesn't have to worry about Mixer poaching Doc anymore. So Twitch, looking to save money, technically it's because they say he violated their terms of service or something like that. Twitch decides what
the terms of service
violation. And it's like they make the rules, so they could have gone in and made up anything to get him banned. So hey, you did this and we don't like that. So
DMCA, technically he does, if they can't prove that he has the right to play that music, they could hit him for that.
So they can go in, they can decide wherever they want, and I'm pretty sure if they do go that route, you violated the terms of service, they don't have to pay him the remaining of his contract. So they basically said, Mixer's not around anymore, they can't poach you from us anymore. Well, we don't want to spend our money on it anymore, so we're gonna make up this fake thing that you violated, and we're not gonna give you your money, and now you're banned, and we get all our money back.
That's actually a good theory. The whole the thought I have on that is, if that was the case, I'm sure execs at YouTube or Facebook would have known that, or Doc's team would have potentially leaked that info to those players to get offers to Doc from those two different platforms, unless Doc is just so dead set on being on Twitch. Because if YouTube came to him and was like, hey, Twitch wanted to offer you this much money, we're going to offer you double that, my guess is he would probably jump to YouTube, unless he's just so confident and dead set that Twitch is the only place to have a successful streaming career. I would see him just saying, fuck you, Twitch. All right, you're gonna finagle me out of my contract. I'm gonna go sign for double at YouTube. You know what I mean? And just doing that, and then that being out there already. Unless he has to fight the legal battle with Twitch over wrongful termination or the greasy way they terminated him before he can sign a new contract. That might also be a situation. So that's a good thought. That's a good theory too. So
I mean, I listened to it, and I know what that actually makes sense if it's in a lot of things.
But that's still, I still don't know if that plays into what Shannon and Slasher had to say about the reasons.
We know why, but we're not comfortable saying.
Yeah.
Like nothing really fits to that. I don't know. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Anything, but I heard it. I'm like, you know what? That kind of makes some good sense too from everything else that's going on. So
yeah.
Shit. It's I don't know, the fact that it's taken so long, and we've heard in 2 weeks, and people are saying I know why, but I don't want to share it.
And then Shroud and Ninja not making any decisions yet. They
haven't decided anything either. It's like they're kind of waiting for this to play itself out.
Well, that could also lend to that too, because the whole idea of like being an unfaithful business partner goes two ways. They know that Twitch fucked Doc out of his contract because Mixer went under. What would make them trust Twitch to want to go sign a contract with them? So maybe they want to see how this all shakes out before they sign. If Twitch, if that is the case, and that theory is true, and Doc is fighting Twitch legally over what happened, maybe they want to see how that shakes out before they sign. So that's a good thought too.